Well, good morning and welcome to Morning Gospel Fuel with Mr. G. It is Saturday, August 14th, the 19th Saturday of Ordinary Time, and it is the memorial of Saint Maximilian Kolbe, who is one of the most popular saints around during World War I and World War II. And he is famously known for giving up his life for another prisoner in the concentration camps in Nazi Germany, because the one that they were going to kill was a father with a wife and children, and he sacrificed himself to spare the life of that one. And so he is a martyr of the faith. He was, of course, a priest, a confessor of the faith, and he was a founder of the Militia Immaculata, which he is a huge devotion to our Mother Mary, in which he is oftentimes known as the apostle of consecration to the Mother of God. And he is the patron saint of prisoners as well as families, which makes sense. Today's gospel is from Matthew chapter 19, verses 13 through 15. Let's begin in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Then children were brought to him, that he might lay his hands on them and pray. The disciples rebuked them, but Jesus said, "Let the children come to me, and do not prevent them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." After he placed his hands on them, he went away. So this is the blessing of the children, which takes place directly after the teaching on marriage and divorce in Matthew's gospel, which makes sense. And this verse is oftentimes used to help understand and kind of justify the practice of infant baptism. So I know that's a common criticism of the Catholic Church of why we baptize babies whenever they don't have the freedom to choose whether they're going to be Christian or not. And we need to put it in this perspective, because of course Jesus does say, "Let the children come to me," even though his disciples kind of rebuked him and said, "Well, what are you doing? They're a child." And Jesus brought the children to them because he says the kingdom of heaven belongs to these as well. And you need to think of that, I think, from a Catholic perspective, of why this even logically makes sense. Because as a parent, a mother and father of a child, you are responsible for that child. Would you agree? And what we need to understand is that you are asked as parents to care for your children physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, every type of way, right? And if you went with the logic of, a child can't choose to be Christian, so it eliminates freedom, that's similar. Would you consider that to be similar to, well, a child can't feed themselves, so why are you feeding them? So a child can't bathe themselves, so why would you bathe them? In the same way, a child can't know how to take care of their spiritual lives. So that's the parent's responsibility. So that is why Catholics believe in infant baptism, because parents are in charge of the entirety of that child, mind, body, soul. And so you can't deny a child baptism, baptizing them in water in the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That is what a parent ought to do, because wouldn't you say that, especially in the world that we live in, would you say that it's more important for your child to be physically healthy or spiritually healthy? Because I think we see the spirit of America and the spirit of the world right now, and we need those alive in the spirit. And that's also why, on the Catholic side of things, that's why we have the baptizing of water during baptism, the cleansing during that sacrament. But then we also have the sacrament of confirmation, which is later on in 8th grade typically, where they're baptized in the Holy Spirit, which is a different type of baptism, but still the sacrament of the church. So anyway, that is just some Catholic apologetics this morning. And if you are married with children, or whether you're married or not, if you have children, I think today's challenge would be to reflect upon and kind of challenge yourself to say, hey, am I raising my child as best as I can in the faith, so they can learn and understand and grow in their knowledge of God. So thus they can also learn to understand and know and grow in knowledge of themselves as well. So there we go. The blessing of children. Have a great day. God bless, and keep it real. In the Father, Son, and Spirit, amen.